It is not possible. There are hundreds of plants in the forest. How can I show you this is the exact plant? It is not possible. Author was speechless. After listening to the WILDBUCK story, now the author is speechless. He believes it could be purely accidental. It might be accidental or it may not be. He is not able to believe here. Hello everyone, I am Babita Tamaya, lecturer, Department of English, Vidhyaashram Pre-University College, the Temple of Excellence, Mysuru. In my previous session, I had discussed about the chapter around the medicinal creeper, that is about the story of Mara. The author Purnachanda Tejasvi was erecting a bamboo frame for the coffee seed beds to protect it from the sunlight. So here Sanna was sent to the forest to get a creeper to tie it. And Mara was just trying to segregate, and suddenly he finds the creeper and he shouts at Mara. And he shouts at Sanna, why did you pluck this creeper? Then later, Sanna took Mara to the forest, and after he saw that creeper, Mara is just trying to tie it to the nearby plant. And here the author, with so curiosity, he just questioned him, why did you tie it to the creeper? What is the use of it? So Mara says, you don't know the story about it. And he starts saying the story. What is the story is about? He says that if you come in search of this creeper, you will not find it. That was the curse by the sage. So whenever we see it, we'll just tie it to the nearby plant. After that, there was a story told by Mara to the narrator saying that about the wound in his hand. He went to the forest and he was cutting a bamboo frame with the help of a sickle, and suddenly what happens, he get a cut on his hand and the blood was oozing very badly. He keeps a leaf tied with a lungi and just runs to the English doctor. When he goes there, and when the doctor is ready to do the first aid, and when he opens it, there'll be no wound. He'll be surprised after surprise to see that not even the mark as well as the wound is there. The English doctor shouts at him, and later he says, if you take me to the forest and show me the creeper, I'm going to give my entire property. Both goes to the forest, search from morning till evening, but they did not find it. The Englishman gets wild and he says, if you're not going to show me right now, he just takes out his gun and points at Mara saying that I'm going to shoot you right now. Mara falls to his feet and says, really, I'm not able to identify the plant. And the Englishman asks Mara to run away from the place. After hearing the story, the author is irritated and he says, instead of going and searching everywhere in the forest, you could have gone to the place where you were cutting the bamboo or where you got your hand hurt. You could have searched there. It was easy to identify the creeper. For that, again, Mara is telling one more story that was about Kaukal and Mongoose. What does he say about them? So Mongoose and Kaukal go for hunting in the forest for snake, and if they are bitten by the snakes, to cure themselves, they'll chew these leaves. That was the very short story told by Mara. And the third story is all about his teeth. Now, the author is curious to know why Mara doesn't have any teeth on the right side. Yes, he has grown old, but when they grow old, you can see the teeth falling. But here, not all the teeth, his teeth has fallen only on the right side. And whatever he wants to eat, he has to chew it only on the left side. Now, what is the second story? Second story, as I told, it is Mongoose and Kaukal, but it is a very small story. And here, the second story, the big story is about the teeth. Why Mara doesn't have any teeth on the right side. Let's begin today's session. Mara's stories of losing his teeth. That is the second story what Mara says now. Author is curious, and now the author is asking, Purnachanda Tejasvi is asking Mara, why you don't have any teeth on the right side. So Mara says, one day he had kept a trap for the rabbit, and the next day early morning he just goes to see whether any rabbit is trapped. He has kept it in the forest. He goes in the morning to check whether the rabbit is trapped. And he did not find any rabbit, and he just thinks of going and freshening up himself. There was a stream flowing. He'll just go near the stream and he wants to freshen up himself, just pluck a stick, because most of the time what they do in the sense, they use the neem stick to brush their teeth. Even now some do. He'll just try to pluck a stick and he'll start brushing. How many times he brushed? He brushed thrice or 4 times. After brushing for the 4th time, he'll get some sour taste. So again he goes near the stream, takes some water, rinse his mouth and spit the water. While spitting water, what happens? All the right side teeth falls down, because he has brushed only the right side for 3 to 4 times. All the right side teeth falls down. This is how I lost my teeth on the right side. And next, the conversation between Mara and the author Purnachandra Tejasvi continues. Thank God, I was saved because I had not brushed all the teeth. Otherwise, I would not have had any teeth left to eat even rice. He says, thank God I had brushed only on the right side. If I would have brushed both right and left side, all my teeth would have fallen down and I would have not been able to eat rice also. Author rebuked him saying, hey Mara, if you want to tell lies, they must at least be believable. Author is saying, if you want to say, if you're telling a lie, the lie, whatever you say to the others, they should believe you. They should trust you. It should be like that. But whatever you're saying, it's fabricated stories. Mara said, can't you see that I have lost all those teeth? Now Mara, he got wild and he says, if so, after seeing my teeth also, why don't you believe that it is the fact, it is the truth, whatever I'm saying? Then come and show me the plant. So the author is asking, Tejasvi is asking, if so, then can you show me the plant? How can I show you that plant? There are hundreds of plants in the forest. You can do one thing, sir. What is he saying? How can I show the plant? How can I show the creeper? It is not possible. There are hundreds of plants in the forest. How can I show you this is the exact plant? It is not possible. You can do one thing. What is the thing here? You can try brushing your teeth with each of them. Then we can find out which one has this effect. So what Mara is saying, I cannot show you the tree or the creeper because there are hundreds of creepers inside the forest. If you want to know, you can try with each and every creeper or the plant which is there in the forest, so that you will get to know the result or the effect of the teeth or the creeper. Why should I? Author is asking, why should I? Why should I try with each and every creeper? So Mara says, you're the one who told that I am lying. So you have to brush your teeth with all those plants and discover the right one, because you're the one who told I'm lying. You're not able to believe me. If so, what you have to do, you yourself need to try with each and every plant to get the result or to know the result. So what will be the reply from author? My God, there are so many plants in the forest. I won't live long enough to try each and every one of them. Author is saying there are many plants in the forest and I don't think so I can keep trying with each and every plant, and I won't live long enough to try with every plant. Hey Mara, if you keep trying out different ones, you may find one which is going to make your teeth come back. What author is telling here again, you do one thing, you better start trying with each and every creeper so that you don't have any teeth on the right side. You might get your right side teeth back if you start trying with each and every plant. Mara says, how can I say which type of plant I will stumble upon? Just my bad luck if I get one which kills me. He says, if I start trying with each and every plant, how do I get to know that? How will I know that I'll get my teeth back? Or I might lose my life also. There might be some poisonous creepers also. I'll be not knowing anything. How can I try with each and everything? Then why are you asking me to try? If so, you know that If you try with each and everything, you may not get your teeth back or you might die yourself. When you know all such things, but why are you asking me to try with every plant? Because you're the one who is accusing me of lying. So Mara says to the author, you're the one. You're not ready to believe me. You told that I'm lying. So if you want to know the fact, you have to try. Suppose you come upon the one that will bring back your youth. Author is telling to Mara, suppose if you keep trying with each and every plant, you might become young. You might go back to your youth. That is what he says, Mara. What was the reply? I don't even want that. If I become young, I will have to marry again. Let that be, but don't think that such a plant does not exist in our forest. He said and told me another story. He says, I don't want to get back my youth. I don't want that hell again. If I get back my youth, I have to marry again. I don't want to go and fall again to that hell. I don't want that hell. And done and dusted. And again, he's starting with one more story. What is the story all about? That is the story number 3. One is about the bamboo frame cutting his hand, and the next one is mongoose and cow, and the next story was about Mara's teeth, and now he is again saying the another story. What is this third story all about? About the wild buck. This wild buck is also known as barking deer. What is the story about barking deer? He had led a trap in the forest. He and one of his friends both goes to the forest in the morning. The wild buck is trapped. Go take the wild buck near the stream. Get it clean. They'll clean it. And whatever the meat is there, they'll divide it into the equal proportion. After dividing it, they'll wrap the meat with some leaves and they go back to their homes. Who? Mara and his friend. After going home back, here they have kept the water to boil and Mara's wife is ready. She is busy with making that masalas with the spices, everything. Everything is ready. The water is boiling and when Mara is opening the packet, he is unwrapping the packet and when he unwraps it, he suddenly finds a wild buck. That is a live barking deer. And what does he do while just opening it up? The wild buck just jumps out of the cover and goes out of the house. It runs out of the house. And Mara is running back of the wild buck to just catch it. It was not possible for him to catch. And by the time Mara's wife, what she does in the sense, whatever the leaf it was there lying on the table, she'll just take and she'll put inside the fire. This was the story which was told by Mara about the wild buck. Now the author is really getting very irritated and he don't even want to listen to all such stories. He says it is a cock and bull story. It is a fabricated story. Who will believe you? Who will trust you? Whatever lies, whatever the stories you're saying, it should be believable. It is not believable stories. It is cock and bull stories. Let's see what happens next. Author was speechless. After listening to the wild buck story, now the author is speechless. Tejasvi did not ask for any elaboration or explanation because this was the height of his inventive genius. The author did not want any explanation or elaboration of the story. He was fed up. He was very irritated. He believed that this was no wonder that Doctor of Hulindalu was prepared to give him away entire estate in exchange for these wonder plants. So the author Purnachandra Tejasvi says that listening to all such stories, it is the thing that even the Hulindalu, the English doctor, he believed Mara's story and he was ready to give his entire plantation to Mara. Next, conscience. It's been a long time since author sold his estate and Mara is also dead and gone. So after a long time, again here, whatever the plantation the author had, everything is sold and Mara is dead now. Mara is no more. Author is in dilemma to reject all of Mara's stories as they kept bothering Tejasvi conscience, and he does not want to reject those stories as bunkum. So here author says that he is in a dilemma, he is in a confusion whether to believe the stories what Mara told or not to believe. He is in a confusion mode. The total disinterest that Mara showed in trying to argue with us or convince us for that matter to lie or tell the truth continues to bother us. So, whatever the stories Mara told to us, whether it's a lie, whether to believe or not to believe, they are now the author Purnachandra Tejasvi is in a complete confusion whether to trust, whether to believe the story or don't know. He is into total confusion. After a long time, Mara's medicinal creeper was back in the news. So whatever the creeper Mara was keep saying about the stories, and again now it is back. Mara is dead now. After his death, again the story is back in the news. This time I saw Appanna. Who is this? Appanna. Now again, one mark question. First it was Mara who was trying the creeper to the next plant. After Mara's death, now it is Appanna who is trying the creeper to the nearby tree. I asked, who is your author? Purnachandra Tejasvi. He is asking Appanna whether he knew its uses. He is tying the creeper to the nearby plant. So now the author is questioning Appanna, do you know the use of this creeper? He did not know. I believe if you squeeze the juice of these leaves in milk, it becomes hard. He said, have you seen it happen? So he says, I don't know about this creeper, but I believe that if we squeeze the juice of the leaves into milk, so what he's saying, collect some leaves, squeeze it, take the juice and add it to the milk. What happens? It becomes hard. What becomes hard? The milk will become hard. He said, who said? Appanna is saying this to the narrator or the author, Purnachandra Tejasvi. Take some leaves, squeeze the juice and add it to the milk and the milk becomes hard. Have you seen it happening? So now Tejasvi is asking Appanna, have you seen it? Have you tried with it? He says, no. This is what people say. No, I don't know. But the people talk like this. Where can I find milk for all such experiments? He explained. I don't have so much of money to bring milk and try with the experiment. I don't have so much of money, and how can I try with such an experiment? I had heard the people speaking about. He wants to do the experimentation. I plucked leaves from the creeper and took them to my friend Chandru. As I told earlier, that is the character Chandru, who is a plant pathologist. One mark question again, who studies about a plant. So author plucked some leaves and he has taken that leaves to Chandru, who is a plant pathologist, and decided to conduct experiment. Who has decided? Author and his friend had decided to conduct an experiment based on the leaves. Other scientist friend laughed and said that we are wasting a liter of good milk listening to all kind of cock and bull stories. Other plant pathologist friends who were sitting next to Chandru, they were just laughing at them, saying that you're simply wasting 1 liter of milk listening to all cock and bull stories. Once we had decided to play the fools. We couldn't care less about others laughing at us. And here, author and his friend Chandru have decided to do the experiment, and the others laugh at us also. We are least bothered, but we have to do this experiment to get to know whether it is a fact or not. Is there some medicinal values? Whatever the story Mara told, is it the fact? They just wanted to know. And here Appanna also had told that if they squeeze the juice of the leaves and add it to the milk becomes hard. They just want to try it, and they are doing the experiment right now. Experimentation process begins. So now Chandru and the author Tejasvi have started with the experiment. The experimentation is in process. They have squeezed the juice, taken into a bowl. They have added the milk. Let's see what happens next. We put the milk and leaves into a mixer and switched it on. Leaves as well as milk is put inside the mixer and they have on it. After they were thoroughly mixed, we poured it out into a vessel. We watched for some time to see whether it would come curdled or remain as it is. So they have mixed it well and poured into a vessel, waited for some time to see whether it has become hard or it has remained the same. Nothing happened for a couple of minutes, just as I decided that we had indeed wasted a liter of milk. I touched it again. It had become firm and rubbery. When we inverted the vessel, the whole thing fell out like a molded cast. So after some time, it remained the same thing. It was not so hard. After a couple of minutes, when it just went and the narrator or the author just went and touched, it remained the same. It had not become hard. Then he thought that, oh, we had wasted 1 liter of milk listening to that Aparna. But later, after some time, again when he touched, it had become hard and they inversed the vessel. They made it upside down. When they made it upside down, whatever the milk was there inside the vessel, it had become curdled and it was very hard and it fell into the ground. It was rubbery and hard. Author is sure that the creeper had some qualities. So here, what did it exactly cure? They doesn't know what exactly cured because Mara never told. Now let's see what exactly it cured. Author is sure that the creeper had some medicinal qualities. After the experimentation with his friend Chandru, now author is saying that there is some medicinal qualities in this creeper. He wondered which diseases or disease it cured. Tejasvi is wondering which disease or diseases does this medicinal creeper cure. Just like Mara, all the people go around tying this creeper to the nearest plant and muttering, "Stay here." Just like Mara, most of the people in that village, what they used to do, they used to tie the creeper to the nearby plant and say that, "Stay here, not to go anywhere from this place." Author confirms that he had not seen anyone actually go back to untie it and take it home for some almond. So he says, I can see the people tying the creeper to the very next plant, but I have never seen the people untying the creeper and taking it home for their own use. I never seen any such people. The next, sick Krishna. It is the story about Krishna now. Who is Krishna here? Krishna, the erstwhile farmland who worked in author's farm, had stopped working in the estate sometime and was driving a rickshaw when to author looked pale and breathless. Krishna was the person who was working in author's farmland. After that, he left that farmland and he was a rickshaw driver. After becoming a rickshaw driver, later again he is going and meeting the author, and when he meets the author at that time, he has become pale and looked pale and breathless. Breathless, he was not able to breathe properly. He started passing blood with his stools. I thought he might be having piles. So what happened with Krishna? What was the problem? His problem was he started passing loose stools, and even he can see the blood passing with the stool, and the author thought he might be having a piles problem. As far I knew, only allopathic treatment for piles was surgery. So as far the author knew about the piles, what was the treatment? It is the allopathic treatment, that is for piles, was surgery. Only with the surgery, the piles problem can be cured. As per author knows only surgery helps Krishna to cure himself. This godman, who is the godman? He is the Malyali Sadhu. This godman had treated Krishna on an earlier occasion. Krishna had developed boils all over his body. There was a Malyali Sadhu. Malyali Sadhu was already given some medicine for Krishna when he had some boils all over his hand. The godman had given Krishna the bark of some tree. What he had given? The bark of some tree, which he was supposed to crush and mix with duck's eggs and eat. What he has to do? He had given him some bark tree where he has to crush and mix it with duck's egg and eat it. So this was the medicine which was given by Malyali Sadhu to cure the boils on Krishna's hand. The full course of treatment was 10 days. So mix the bark tree, crush it, mix with duck's egg, and for how many days he has to continue this treatment? He has to consume this for 10 days. How many days? For 10 days to cure the boils in his hand. The treatment worked and he never got boils again. So whatever the treatment was given by Malyali Sadhu, it was worked for Krishna. Whatever the boils he had in his hand, everything was disappeared and he never got any such boils in his hand after that. And now again, when he is suffering from piles, again he thought of going and consulting the same person, the Malyali Sadhu. Now Krishna went to the same godman who had become too old now. When he had boils, the godman was, the Malyali Sadhu was not too very old. But now he has become too old. Apparently, he told Krishna that he did not have the strength to search for the plant, but that he would describe it. Now the Malyali Sadhu is telling Krishna, now I don't have so much of strength to walk inside the forest and search for the bark. It is not possible for me. Instead of that, I will tell you what you have to do. What is the medicine you have to take it. Krishna had to search and dig out the tuberous root, mix it with milk and drink the medicine for 5 days to cure the piles. What is the medicine told by the godman? That is the Malyali Sadhu. He told that you have to dig out the tuberous root and mix the root with milk and you have to consume for 5 days. This was the treatment or the medicine given by the Malyali Sadhu or the godman to Krishna to cure his piles. So what does Krishna do now? The next day, while Krishna was searching for this plant, author heard the description and took him near the plant. Next day, what happens? Krishna went to the forest in search of this plant, and at that time, author got to know that he was searching for such tuberous root, and even Tejasvi also helps Krishna to search for that root. Both had to dig quite a bit to get the tuber. Who both? It is Krishna as well as the author Tejasvi. Both had started to dig and they have to dig quite a bit to get the tuber. Krishna drank it with milk and within 5 days his piles improved. As the Malyali Sadhu told, you need to consume this medicine for 5 days. He took the medicine for 5 days with the help of milk and his pile was cured. Was completely cured in 5 days. He had to consume for 5 days and it was completely cured. Krishna bid goodbye to his job as a rickshaw driver. What did he do? After curing himself from the piles, what did Krishna do? He said goodbye for his rickshaw as a rickshaw driver. Now, the author is wondering and he is also surprised. Let's see why he was surprised here. When we both dug the root, even author ate a small piece of it just to see how it tasted. It was slightly bitter. So while Krishna and author Tejasvi was digging the root, author just wanted to taste the root, that is the tuberous root. He wanted to taste it and he has tasted it and it was slightly bitter. The taste was slightly bitter. But what happened after that? This root had cured Author's heel pain and swelling next to the bone of his heel. So while digging the root, while he was helping Krishna, even he had a bit of root to know the taste of it. But what was the surprise for the author here? He had a heel pain and the swelling next to the bone of his heel. He had a heel pain that is next to the bone. So whatever the pain he had, whatever the swelling he had, everything was completely cured. Now, author is just wondering, or he is shocked to know that because I had the root, because of that, I have cured my heel pain as well as the swelling, or it was unfortunately happened. The surgeon had said that it had to be surgically removed. What was the doctor told? Doctor told that to the heel or the swelling, whatever he had next to the bone, what it has to be done, it has to be done or removed by a surgery. Surgical, it has to be removed only by surgical. Without any surgery, the author is completely cured. True effect of accidental. Now the author is just thinking whether it's accidental or because of having the leaf or the tuberous root. The author is in a fixation to believe the result of creeper. Now author is in a fix. He is in a complete mind saying that yes, the creeper has some medicinal values because he himself have cured with that swelling as well as the heel pain. He believes it could be purely accidental. It might be accidental or it may not be. He is not able to believe here. Author keeps wondering about who would do research on various swelling that appears on human body. So now he's just thinking, if I go and tell this to anyone, who will start to do the research on this? Research on the human body. Is there any person who can start doing the research and get to know the result? Really, I was cured by the heel pain after having the tuberous root, or it was accidental. To know all these things, who will do the research that is on the human body? For the people like Mara, research is of no importance at all. And he also says, people like Mara, they doesn't want any research because they, whatever they say, feel that or they think that it is the truth. It is the fact. They believe each and everything. I don't want to go and give any kind of a proof for them. They will believe it. Even the Malyali godman shared his knowledge with Krishna only because he was too old and weak. And again he's saying, Mara also never told about which kind of disease or diseases does it cure. He did not want to share the knowledge. But here, why did the Malyali Sadhu, the godman, share the knowledge with Krishna? Because he was too very old and he was not able to walk inside the forest and search for the plant. Only for that purpose, the Malyali Sadhu had shared his knowledge, or else even he would have not shared the knowledge with Krishna. Conclusion. Let's see the conclusion. What is the conclusion of this chapter? One of the problems is that these native doctors believe that if they told others about their medicine, the medicine would lose their potency. So the native doctors, the Ayurvedic doctors, what they believe in the sense, if they share their knowledge about the medicine to others, whatever the medicinal value that it contains, everything will be lost. That will not remain the same thing. Only because of that, most of the medicinal doctors, the Ayurvedic doctors, never share their knowledge about medicine to others. Because of this belief, India's native medicinal system are on the verge of extinction. So here, when the people doesn't share the knowledge about the Ayurvedic medicine, what happens? There will be no one to continue or extend this Ayurvedic medicine anymore because they themselves doesn't share with anyone. And if they start dying day by day, who will continue this? If they just share their knowledge with others so that they can take it up, they can extend this Ayurvedic medicine. But what they believe in the sense, if they share their knowledge about the medicine, it might lose its importance. Only because of that, they don't share their knowledge. So what most of the people do here in the sense, they depend on the English doctors. There are many Ayurvedic medicines what we consume in our day-to-day life. But do we exactly know what kind of Ayurvedic things we are taking day-to-day in our life? We really don't know. There are many things around us. Now, for example, if we take wheat, barley, ragi, we have tulsi, neem. Who knows the importance of these plants? Handful, very few people know, but not each and every one. So instead of we having the Ayurvedic medicine, for each and everything, we rush to the English doctors. But one important thing here is Ayurvedic medicine is the best medicine in the world without any side effects. That is all about the chapter around a medicinal creeper. Glossary, it is nothing out of the text. It is the same thing which is there in your textbook. In my next session, I'll be discussing about the poem Money Madness. Until then, take care. Have a good day. Thank you.